ahead of asymptomatic patients can cause unnecessary burden on testing facilities, especially as the country is yet to see the worst of its third wave.
Elsewhere, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson is facing growing scrutiny over a leaked email which shows 100 people were invited to a party in his number 10 Downing Street residence during a nationwide lockdown in 2020 when large social gatherings were prohibited. He's refused to deny whether he was present, but eyewitnesses allege he and his wife were at the event. European Parliament President David Sassoli has died at the age of 65. He was admitted to hospital in Italy last month due to serious complications with his immune system. The President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, paid tribute to someone she called a great European and a dear friend.
David Sassoli was a man of deep faith and strong convictions. Everyone loved his smile and his kindness. Yet he knew how to fight for what he believed in.
And a 57-year-old American has become the first person in the world to get a heart transplant from a genetically modified pig. The man, who was ineligible for a human transplant, is doing well 3 days after the procedure in Baltimore. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, looking today at the situation at the U.S. detention center in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. Despite campaigning on a pledge to shut it down, President Biden so far has not only failed to advance that goal, but late last year we learned it's even being expanded. The New York Times reporting that a second courtroom is under construction at a cost to the U.S. taxpayer of $4 million. The plan to be able to hold 2 war crimes trials simultaneously there starting next year. Mansour Adafi is a former Guantanamo detainee. He spent 15 years there before being cleared to leave, and he never faced any criminal charges.
Trump, at least, he kept his promise. He said he won't close it. And Biden, last year they said they will close the detention. But so far, we haven't seen any tangible steps for the closure of Guantanamo. There's almost like 15 detainees have been cleared to release. Some of them have been cleared since 2009 and 10, and they're still there. They keep repeating the same excuse that the Congress put some kind of restriction for transfer the prisoners to United States. 15 detainees at least have been cleared and waiting for the release, and they still haven't been released yet.
39 detainees remain at Guantanamo, and only one prisoner has been transferred out of the facility since President Biden's inauguration. A Moroccan man recommended for release in 2016, who also faced no charges. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
A reminder once more of our top stories. North Korea has fired a suspected ballistic missile in the second apparent missile launch in less than a week. The World Health Organization has given a stark warning on Omicron infections in Europe as the health agency claims the variant's forecast to infect more than 50% of the region's population in the next 2 months. Meanwhile, a third Chinese city has been placed under strict lockdown. And European Parliament President David Sassoli has died at the age of 65. That's the latest feature story news. I'm Benji Haya in London.
Calling all artists. KCHW loves to feature area musicians live on the radio. Come and perform live in the morning show and show off your talent. The KCHW Broadcast Center also features event space for your next concert, or take advantage of our audio and video recording gear for your next CD, YouTube video, or even a live webcast to the world. Studio recording and event center fees are nominal and support the Radio Guild. Call the Broadcast Center at 935-6627 or email info@kchw.org. Put yourself out there with a little help from your Northeast Washington Community Radio Guild and radio station, KCHW 102.7.
All right, if North Korea really has some new kind of missile that they have to build some new kind of missiles to block, I'm going to go back to bed. Ballistic missiles. Huh?
More good news after more good news.
Yeah, the world's a great place. I'm so happy. Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7, 732. Scott and Val sneaking in on a Tuesday. Just an hour and a half today, though, because we're late.
Oh, it's the story of our lives.
Yes. Neither one of us had to leave to get here. Because she's via Zoom, and I was already here, and that's a good thing, because the town has been dusted with snow. Looks like it's already compacted down really nice on the road, so be careful out there. Snow likely this afternoon, too. High 34, 80% chance of snow, but they're saying only around an inch expected. 33 for an overnight low. Rain and snow showers this evening are possible. They say overnight it will change to rain showers. Let's see, chance of precip, 80%. Tomorrow, 39 and 31, high and low.
Wow.
Got a 50% chance of rain there, too, 60 maybe. Let's see, Thursday, 38 and 30, cloudy skies, just a 20% chance of rain. Friday, 39, 31, 14%. And the weekend right now looking cloudy both days. No big snow in the forecast right now. Saturday, 36 and 30, and Sunday, 36 and 30. All right. Kind of mellow weather for January. Maybe we got the cold stuff out of the way.
Maybe. Well, the beginning of January is the coldest part of the whole year. So
yeah, but we've kind of had our, the past few years, we've kind of had our little cold snaps in January or November.
Yes.
Which is kind of weird.
Mother Nature just does what she wants anyway. So
she needs to make up her mind.
Kind of like a cat and a woman. We just do what we want.
Could you have a talk with Mother Nature for the rest of us?
I can try, but last time I did, she smoked me.
For the whole summer. Oh, man. All right, a few news headlines out there. You pointed out that they found out something new or disclosed something new about Betty White.
Yes, she died of a stroke, evidently.
Well, I don't think she died. I think it was she had one 6 days before.
Okay, had one and then died because of that.
Yeah,
huh?
But she got to rest at home, which would always be nice. Kind of like what our mom wants to do, right?
She does.
She's fighting for it. Mom ended up back in the hospital, and she got out, but she's been really weak ever since. And, having a hard time getting out of the chair and stuff, but she thinks she needs to live on her own.
Yeah. I pretty much told her, I'm like, Mom, you can't live on your own. You just need to come to terms with that. And I don't think she's come to terms with it yet. So.
It was like trying to get the car keys away from Dad.
Yeah, exactly. It's obvious, but they're in denial. So
Dad gave up his car keys on his own, and he came into the kitchen. He'd been somewhere, or I think he was going to the hardware store, which meant he might take a swing through town and maybe shoot some pool before he got back home.
Have a beer.
So he was gone for a while, but we didn't think anything of it. And he comes in and he threw the key. I remember me and Mom had already talked to him about giving up his keys, and he came in and he threw them on the kitchen table and used a few choice words and said, "Keep them." And I said, "What's wrong?" And he goes, "Well, I was going to the hardware store and I woke up in Chihuahua." And he goes, he goes, "I didn't know where I was." He goes,
Wow.
I'm driving all over town trying to figure out where I am. And then finally I recognized things and realized I was in Chihuahua. And then I headed home. And he said, "So I'm done driving." But he came to it on his own.
It's good that he came to that on his own, yeah.
He had scared me one time. We were at the Four Corners in Loon Lake, and he looks both ways and sees traffic and then punches it. It was like...
You saw your life flash before
Oh,
your
yeah.
eyes.
It was like, it reminded me of SpongeBob when he looks over at his driver instructor. I can't remember what her name is. She's like a puffer fish, and then when he scares her, she puffs up. And he looks over at her and goes, "Punch it." So
yeah, so I kind of told Mom, I'm like, what would have happened with this latest episode if you would have been home alone? And she's like, well, I couldn't have even gotten to the phone to call for help. But her solution right now in her own little brain is that she's just going to get a life alert button. And I'm like, well, Mom, you'd have to remember to put it around your neck. And
that could be tough too.
Yeah. And, we kind of looked into that back when she had her blood clot in her leg several years ago. And then they cheaped out because it was a monthly fee. And so here we are.
Oh, they had decided against it because of the monthly fee.
Exactly.
Well, I wish I would have known that. I would have paid it.
It's like, and I didn't really realize that they'd never followed through until.
Oh, well, I thought she had something beside her bed the last time I was visiting. So, I know there's things out there, but I can just picture Mom doing this kind of.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yes. I can see that too.
It's all funny now.
Yeah.
It's all funny now. I actually, though, because, thinking about Betty White reminds me of Mom, because Mom's 90, and women in her family didn't really have that kind of longevity. So she's done really well, as far as age. But the one thing I think that helps me with it, and helped me with it when she passes, is every day she talks about how much she wants to die. I mean, she's ready to go.
Does. Yeah, she kind of does.
What'd you say the one day? I want to know what I did because Jesus won't take me.
Well, Mom, only the good die young.
Oh, all right, Mom. We love
No,
you.
we love
You
you,
hang
Mom.
out as long as you want.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. She's probably really disappointed with her children right now.
Ain't the first time, won't be the last.
All right. Big warning from the U.S. Do not travel to Canada.
What?
And I was thinking, why? Is there something horrible going on in Canada? COVID-19 wasn't even on my list of possibilities because we're the leader in COVID. So why would we warn people not to go to Canada?
And they haven't really been throughout this. They have done pretty well as far as being hit by it because they take this thing pretty seriously as far as if you're supposed to be quarantining and you're not quarantining, I mean, it's jail and a huge fine. And so they actually, because we have friends in Vancouver, they actually call and check and ask you questions and make sure that you're still quarantining when you're supposed to be. So they've been really strict about it. So I'm kind of shocked that they're having a huge wave right now.
It's stupid. Well, whether they're having a huge wave or not, I guarantee you it's not as big as the U.S. So why are we telling people not to go to Canada? Because pretty much, because your chances of getting COVID are less pretty much everywhere else on the planet than in the United States. So here's a great example. Tinder, for example. So if I get a girl from Spokane on Tinder, chances are it'll say on there, if you got the vax, swipe left. That means they don't want to talk to you because you're vaccinated. Now, if you get a girl from Canada, because we're at that range where I can get girls pop up from Canada or Spokane, and I'm just going to say, ladies from Canada, you're beautiful. That's all I'm saying.
You're beautiful, baby.
You're beautiful, baby. So, and the ones from Canada, say the opposite. If you haven't got your shot, get lost. They're a little more progressive up there.
There you go.
All right. I'm sure they have their problems with dissent as well.
I'm sure.
So this just popped up. Let's see, no evidence of drug use or foul play in Bob Saget's autopsy. So the father from, what was that show called? Full House? Yes.
Yes.
The father from Full House suddenly passed away over the weekend at 65, and it's surprising. He looked really well.
Yeah, it sounds like he felt really well. I mean, he was planning on doing a circuit with his comedy act, and my son made a comment. I haven't really talked to him about it, but he made a comment on Facebook that he had tickets to see him at the Spokane Comedy Club, or was looking forward to seeing him at the Spokane Comedy Club. So one of his little circuit was going to be through our area.
Oh, wow. He really tried to break that mold of being the dad from Full House. I've seen him do his comedy bit, and it reminded me of, he was a really big guy, late 80s, and he was a foul-mouthed comedian, wore the leather jacket, act like Fonzie. Ford Fairlane was one of his movies, but Andrew Dice Clay. Super vulgar comedian, and Bob Saget was worse.
Really?
Oh,
even worse, huh?
Well, and part of it, I think, was the shock of seeing this guy that you probably saw, as a dad on TV for decades, and then to hear the words that were coming out of his mouth.
Totally unexpected.
Oh, yeah. My chin was dragging on the floor. And I wouldn't call myself, I like comedy, and probably a lot of comedy that other people would say was maybe inappropriate. I was actually shocked and didn't enjoy it. So it's going to be pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I know he was getting popular doing that, but wow, it was really things that I didn't need to hear. I'm pretty sure most people don't.
Well, it's one of those things is when you kind of laugh, but then you're like, I should never have laughed at that. It's funny, but it's so inappropriate.
Yeah, and then, like with the guy that face plants and you laugh, and then he gets up and he's all bloody in the mouth, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have laughed.
Right.
Or the one time I was at I was in a bar. It was a hotel in Spokane I was visiting. It was one of those, it got tore down. It was down on the river. And I'm in the lounge, and it's like the worst lounge band ever. They thought they were Journey. And and the lead singer even had like the Steve Perry hair. And he's singing, and he doesn't like something about the sound, which they sounded fine. And they were a good, like Journey cover band. He goes back over to like, there's no sound guy, so they got their own rack on the stage. And he goes over there, and you can see him wiggling wires. And all of a sudden, he flies across the stage. I mean, all the way through the air to the other side, gets electrocuted.
Oh, geez.
And I mean, it literally tossed this guy across the stage. And and I'm not saying I had a few cocktails, but I had a few cocktails. There's only maybe 12 people in the whole bar. Everybody's in shock. Band stops playing. They run over to him, and he's awake. And they pick him up, and he's really rubbing in his arm, but he seems to be okay. And I don't do the crowd cheering the football player on. I just do it again. But he wouldn't do it again.
Oh.
And then they asked me to
Did
go
you
to...
read the room, Scott? Had
No.
you read the room?
No, I had not. And then they asked me to go to my room. I couldn't help it, though. I was like, yeah, please, do it again. That was awesome.
Oh, especially since he got up and walked away.
Yes, but, I mean, I've never seen that before. I've heard of people getting electrocuted from their band equipment, but literally throwing 15 feet, wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't think there was that much voltage behind.
Oh, those amps, and if he's using old tube amps and stuff, it's like they say you could turn off your TV, but if you opened up and stuck a screwdriver in there, you're probably going to die.
Oh, alrighty then. Don't try that at home.
No, it's a little different now with all the digital stuff, but especially in those flat screens, they're basically just a computer monitor, really.
Yeah.
Not much to them if you crack the back open. And I like to, if something quits working and it's electronic, I'm busting it open. I've always been that way.
Well, it's not working at that point. It's not like you can mess it up further.
That's right. I remember Mom coming in the room one time. She'd bought me a radio, a new one, and I had it all tore apart.
How did that go over?
Yeah, she's like, what are you doing with the new radio? I was just like, I wanted to see how it worked. And then it wasn't but a few days later, they came home and they had this thing from Radio Shack that was like 150-in-1 science project.
Mm-hmm.
Keep my little hands busy from tearing stuff apart.
And look where you're at.
That's
here,
right.
what,
That's
40 years later.
I should have been an electrician, though. I'd have done much better and made a lot more money. Do you know I'm not even getting paid right now?
What?
Yes.
You're doing this for free?
For 12 years, I've been doing this morning show for free. Well, it was 2 years of practice and then 10 years on the air.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, man. We're just kind of full of it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to bits and breaks. I think that's all the news headlines that really popped out. Yeah, I don't get too much into the entertainment stuff, so I won't even look at that. Because I don't want to know.
That's the one thing, if, I was ever to be on like some sort of game show, if they hit me with the entertainment stuff, I would, that would be over for me.
Fail miserably?
I just don't, I don't know actors' names. I don't know what they starred in. I just am not, I don't know. I guess I'm not into that stuff.
If you'd back up 10, 15 years, I would know.
Mm-hmm.
But now some of the actors that come up and on our birthday list, I'm like, who's that? And then I don't watch I don't watch TV like I did when I was younger too. I'm not exposed to as much of it, and I don't enjoy it. And especially like when people talk about sitcoms and stuff. I mean, I stopped watching sitcoms before Office and The Office and Friends. So when people reference those shows, I know nothing about them because they were just. I mean, I can't imagine people wasted time in their life watching Friends.
You're going to get hate mail over that. There was a lot of very, very loyal friends.
I
Our
know, I
friends.
know. The Office I kind of get because it's relatable, and I suppose Friends is too in relational dynamics and stuff like that. So I could understand The Office a little more, but I never really got Friends. I was like, I'd sooner sit around with 6 friends and do what they're doing than watch 6 friends on
nice
TV.
to get paid for that, though.
Oh yeah, well, good for them.
Yeah.
How about the rest of us? We lost years of our lives for nothing. All right.
I didn't watch it either. I mean, I might have caught a few episodes, but
that's kind of
I wasn't. Yeah, it just didn't hit my radar either, I guess.
I think for about the past 20 years, I've used the TV for background noise. I don't really watch it. Unless it's
Not
a
even
really
Netflix.
cool movie.
I mean, you watch streaming stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I do. But there's only certain things that I'll watch and binge watch, and it's usually sci-fi. So,
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be fairly good at least. Because a lot of it isn't.
There's a lot of B sci-fi.
There
B-rated
is.
sci-fi.
Yes, a lot of B sci-fi. All right, did you make it down to Bits and Breaks, Val?
Hey, I did.
Do you see anything you want to share?
Oh, let's see. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Overall, and this might be something good if people are listening on Facebook and want to respond to this, but just a little topic here. What do you dip your fries in?
That's our Facebook question for today?
Yeah. What do you dip your fries in? I mean, especially if it's, something out of the ordinary.
All right. So Val wants you to post on Facebook, what do you dip your fries in?
Yes.
All right. So do you dip your fries in anything weird?
No, nothing weird. I love tartar sauce. If I'm going with something besides tartar, it would be just my homemade, like we used to do as kids, your Miracle Whip and ketchup stirred together. So those are so that's nothing out of the ordinary. But yeah, that's what I prefer.
All right. My very favorite thing and one of my wives turned me on to this, my very favorite thing, I think it's the best thing on the planet that you could possibly dip a fry in. If it wouldn't kill me, I would eat it for the rest of my life. It's fries and country gravy. Oh, my God.
That's a big thing in other parts of the country. And I think in Canada even.
Good.
I mean, that's a big deal. That's what you dip your fries in is gravy.
Now, sausage gravy will do, but it really just needs to be the white country gravy without the sausage in it. I think that's the best. But
Okay.
yeah, Val wants you to go on Facebook.
Yes. Don't laugh at me.
Sorry, we were streaming live on YouTube, but I forgot to hit start on Facebook, so I just did it like a minute ago.
That's why you're giving me grief.
Yeah. But you could go there and post what you like to dip your fries in, and we'll check back on our Facebook page and see if anybody's coming up with anything better than country gravy.
That's right, country gravy.
I've seen people dip their fries in brown gravy, and that just don't quite cut it to me.
Well, it's probably just not as salty as your country gravy. I mean, you need salt with salt, right? You got your salty fries and now add some salty gravy.
Yeah, well, and I think brown gravy tends to taste more saltier than country gravy to me.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, what do you dip your fries in?
But there's so many things though, like a chili cheese fry. That's pretty good.
I'm sorry. One thing that's always good. I remember Wendy's. What do they call that? The Frosty.
Frosty.
Dipping your French fries in a Frosty. That's pretty good too. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
French fries. I mean, they're just good anyway. Any way you look at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How do you reset your day when it starts badly? All right.
Oh,
I had that. I had that happen like several days over the weekend. Lots of technical problems with the radio station, and you might not have noticed on your end, but I do. I think on Friday actually, you probably noticed that one, and I think I lost the year of my life on Friday due to stress.
Oh.
And then it started. You know what? And it fixed itself. How about that?
Wow, you stressed all about it and it fixed itself?
It ended up, and I thought we were okay because I knew that one of our internet antennas would fill up with snow, and it did. But it'd been working. But it did not like the melting on Thursday and Friday. So I imagine...
Well, that makes sense.
I imagine it filled up with water and shorted out.
So when it dried out, you were back up and everything was fine?
Yes.
Okay.
But I had made some mistakes, and it caused a loop, and the same 15 songs were playing all day, and yeah, it just wasn't good.
What were those 15?
Oh, man. I just don't even. I kept hearing Kelly Clarkson. This is my heartbeat song. Now, I never want to hear her heartbeat song ever again.
Ever again?
I think, in fact, today at some point I will go delete it out of the hard drive. Just so it can't play. When I have fun,
you have flashbacks, a little PTSD when you hear it now.
Yeah, I will. I'll start twitching and look at my. All right. So
gonna need a whole lot of serious therapy.
Yeah. Well, I did it before that. If your day begins badly, some advice I found online. If you're having a bad day, ask yourself, am I really having a bad day? Or am I having a bad 15 minutes that I'm going to milk all day? So are you really having a bad day or just a bad 15 minutes? Sometimes you can't tell till the end of the day. All right.
Well, that's very true.
So here's something else you could put on Facebook to go along with that. All right. Life is too short to tolerate blank.
Oh.
Life is too short to tolerate blank.
Gosh, that's a good one. I have to stop and think because there's a few things that come to mind, but I'm like, is it really that bad?
Mean people.
Oh, very true.
People that are mean. People that are mean to other people. And we see more, and we're seeing so much of that now. We had a leader of our country that kind of set the pace for that it's okay to be rude to people and talk smack about them and insult them. And now you see it, it's in the odd news today. You just see it happening everywhere, and I'm sure other people have witnessed it in line. Somebody telling somebody off, picking on them about a mask, whatever it happens to be. It's like we've lost our, what would be the word?
Our diplomacy?
Well, or proper etiquette. It's out the window, yeah. That would be me. Life is too short to tolerate mean people. Just whatever you put on Facebook, life is too short to tolerate blank. Do not say short people.
Oh, that would be really mean.
Yeah, make me cry.
And that would be like a pun. It's too short.
to tolerate,
to tolerate short people.
Actually, I'm okay with it. Go ahead and post that one. I actually like the song, too. All right.
Yeah, I think that's probably the top one, I would say. Yeah.
All right. So I've talked about anger and things I don't like, Val. Can you tell us how to forgive?
Oh, and before I start reading about this, my favorite saying when you're kind of stuck in that loop of being really mad at somebody, especially maybe it's some righteous anger, is that forgiveness is giving up all hope for a different past.
Ew.
So we play those loops and we're mad about something, but being mad is not going to change what happened. It's not going to change the past. So that's kind of going, okay, I accept that this happened and I need to let it go because there's nothing else I can do about it.
That's right. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time watching an episode of Friends.
That's right.
Sorry.
So here are some myths, though, about forgiving.
Okay.
Myth 1, forgiving means forgetting, and that is wrong. You have to remember so you can protect yourself in the future. But it does mean changing your perception. It doesn't, if someone doesn't return an important call, view him as overwhelmed instead of rude. And I kind of like that because I think that's the other thing. We make assumptions. We immediately jump to making an assumption about why somebody acted the way they did, where you might not know what's really going on in their lives. So I like that.
They could be really upset because they lost a pet.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it could be upset about that. Maybe a family member got diagnosed with cancer. Maybe they've got somebody that's dying of COVID. There's all those things that we assume. We make assumptions. Oh, they're being rude. No, they're just overwhelmed. So I like that very much.
I'd heard one once and actually had a girlfriend use it on me one time. There's no difference between the victim and the victimizer. Yes, there is.
There surely is.
Oh, that made me really angry. Of course there is. That was the most ridiculous thing I ever heard. That was her thing about, forgive and let it go because there's no difference between the victim and the victimizer. Yes, there is. Don't tell me that.
Yes, there is. That, for sure. Myth 2. Forgiving means you're a pushover, and that is wrong. Forgiveness puts you in a position of strength. You still hold people accountable for their actions, but you take away their power to hurt you anymore.
Oh.
I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And I think that is part of the situation, especially if you are in that victimizer roles, as you were talking about. You need to take away that victimizer's power for hurting you. And so I like that. Make them accountable, but take away their power.
I had a problem with somebody once, and I extended that olive branch, of forgiveness, and it didn't work. And what's funny, though, is every time that person sees me, they look at the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Quit feeling bad. Way to go.
Well, and I
I'm
think
not
a
angry
lot of
at
times, yeah, I think a lot of times, like I said, people glory in their righteous the indignation or the righteous anger. And or they say that they're forgiving, but then make snide remarks, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
There's all of those things. It's like, it can't be a pseudo forgiveness either if you're really working on this.
All right.
So
You can't waffle back and forth on your forgiveness.
Exactly.
Oh, all right. Educate me some more.
All right. Forgiving means you can't stay angry, and that is wrong as well. By forgiving, you acknowledge that you don't have to suffer forever, but you're still entitled to your anger, and you're not weak for showing it.
Okay.
All right. And finally, myth number 4, forgiveness means reconciliation, which is also a myth and wrong. Reconciliation may be inappropriate because sometimes you have to give up a friendship or even a marriage. However, forgiveness gives you the space, strength, and confidence to decide what's best for you.
Just be done with it.
Just be done with it. And I've had that situation within the last few years, someone that I couldn't deal with their behavior anymore. And so I ended the friendship. And there's still no part of me that's angry with her. It's just, I can't do this anymore. You go do you, but I cannot be around you because of the way you treat others. And so, but I think I've managed that one. I don't ever see a reconciliation because of her behavior, but I am not mad at her.
No.
Just go elsewhere and be happy. But yeah,
I'm going to hang on to mine. I've got this list, and I'm just waiting for them to tell me what time the purge starts. It's a joke. It's a joke.
You don't get mad. You get.
I don't get mad. I just erase the problem. I don't have a list. I'm sorry. I don't have a list. All right. I've got one. What happens to your wedding rings, Scott? I've been asked this so many times. Where are all your wedding rings?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I should have a big necklace with them on. But then I'd probably want more so I could...
Oh, I was going to say, it's going to be so heavy you can't carry it around.
Oh, my neck hurts from all these wedding rings. All right. And you can post this on Facebook, too. We'll go back and look for those others in this later in the hour. So what did you do with your wedding ring after the relationship went bye-bye? One person said, after my ex flew the coop, I tied my wedding ring to a helium balloon and let it loose in the wild blue yonder. It was a symbolic gesture. I must have had my head in the clouds to get married in the first place. I like that. Send it off on a...
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can't hear you at all. So I am trying to figure out what went wrong on my end. So if I'm not responding appropriately, it's because I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I don't have a problem. I like to talk. Here's another one that says, I put mine around my dog's collar and attached the rabies tag to it. The ring looked much better on the dog. Let's see, another one. I'm holding on to mine until the next time I have a cavity. Then I'm going to have the dentist melt it down and use it as a filling. So when my ex does something that drives me nuts, I can grind down on it like this. All right. Let's see. For my 2 used wedding rings from previous marriages, I own a body piercing shop and use them there. I also advertise free piercing if you bring in an old wedding ring. All right. Looks like my sister is still having some problems there in Deer Park.
All right, I got you. I think my kitten was helping me. And so I think she muted my headphones, but I am back now.
How'd she do that? She just reach up and paw it or something?
Well, she has a tendency to try and step on the keyboard. And I don't know if she just hit the right combination of keys and she muted my microphone.
Okay, excellent.
My headphones.
Oh,
yeah,
and
so.
All right, so I got through my wedding ring thing and all the things people did with wedding rings, just so you're caught up. Last one's kind of cute, though. Is a lady who owned a body piercing shop, and she would use her used wedding rings there, and she also advertised a free piercing if you brought in an old wedding ring to melt down. So.
And you know, I'm horribly hard on rings of any kind. My wedding ring, I don't wear it anymore just because I had lost diamonds, I'd broken prongs, and it's like, so it's in my jewelry box. I just don't wear it. So I ended up having it tattooed on my finger instead. And so I joke quite frequently. I don't know if you can see it if I hold it up.
Yes.
There you go. I joke quite frequently with finger tattoos. They don't do the backside because they don't hold up. So I always tease Brad that if I go like this, I'm married, and if I go like this, I'm not married.
Oh, that's dirty.
So married, not married.
Depends on where she is. Wow. Is he going skiing today and listening to all this?
You know, I think he was going to pass on skiing today because of the weather and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. You know, I think the last one I threw away, and the two before that I resold. But what I found out quickly is, like, the first one, like $1,000 ring, and I got $29 for that one at the pawn shop.
Oh, no, really?
And the other one was maybe like $5,000, and I think I got like 100 or something out of it. But yeah. So there's not a.
You might as well melted it down and used the gold. It would have got more money.
Yeah, there is no return on a wedding ring. There's no way to recoup your financial loss there.
You know, and I'm just superstitious enough. I don't think I'd get a used wedding ring, just because I'd be like, okay.
Exactly. Who wants that?
It's carrying some bad mojo with it. I don't know that
we've got a
that.
story in Odd News, something coming up after the break. Something just as disgusting, being forced to wear used underwear.
Being forced to?
Being forced to wear used underwear. It'd be like, you know, yeah, what kind of bad luck is that?
Ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh.
All right, you're quite the cook, and I noticed coming up we've got a couple things about food. And how can I check my steak doneness with my face?
Of course, you know, using a thermometer is the best way to tell how done your steak is. But if you don't have a thermometer, you can use a touch trick, comparing how the steak feels when you press it to different parts of your face. The Connoisseur's Guide to Meat says, hey, did you know there was a Connoisseur's Guide to Meat?
I did not.
They say, press the steak lightly with your fingertip and compare the way it feels to your cheek, chin, and forehead. Oh, so you're not actually touching the steak with your forehead, with your face. You're just touching the steak and then touching your face.
With your greasy fingers.
Yes.
Okay.
Good. Because I was just imagining somebody, you know, with their
That's
face
what I
on
was.
the grill
Yeah,
like this.
yeah. Hey,
hair on fire.
Wouldn't that be great, though, if you came over to my place and I'm doing a barbecue and I picked up your steak and I held it to my forehead and I go, this one's done, wasn't it?
So a rare steak is soft and fleshy, just like your cheek. Fleshy with some resistance, like your chin, is medium. And firmer to the touch with more resistance, like your forehead, means it's well done.
That's the way I cook everything.
I want it just like my forehead, hard.
Could you put a metal plate in it?
Unchangeable. Yeah.
All right.
So there you go.
There
How
you
to
go.
tell
All right.
if your steak's done or not.
Like Carmack. You remember Johnny Carson and Carmack holding up the steak to your, is it done? All right. How about food for thought?
Oh, this is the funniest thing that was read on the internet yesterday. Wishing your pets could talk is fun until you remember everything you've ever done in front of your pets.
Oops. Think about that for a while. You'll stop changing in front of your pets. Yeah, if your cat's watching you change clothes, what's it thinking? Oh, my God.
Exactly.
That's gross. I can't look away. It's like a train wreck.
I always thought, you know how you can seldom get your cat to look at itself in the mirror? It's like, they're like, who cares? You know?
My cat saw a reflection of itself in a painting or a picture with glass, that was on the floor, reflection of herself, and it freaked her out for over a week. She was afraid. She was afraid to walk by the hall, and every time if she's walking down the hall like this, and when she get to the doorway to the hallway, like she's walking through the living room, and she passed the opening to the hallway, she'd turn her head really quick and look, and then hurry up and get out of that area. And I mean, for like a week at least, she was just freak out and look down the hall looking for this, because it was like an apparition, like just a kind of a silhouette of her in a picture glass, and it just freaked her out. It was awesome.
And she thought it was a ghost kitty or something?
I guess, man. I'd never seen her freak out about anything like that, and she did not let it go for quite a while. Even though I had moved the painting, she was freaked out to walk by the hallway because she was just sure there was a ghost cat in there or something.
Or just thought there was another cat that was sneakier than she was or something.
Something, yeah. Yeah, all right. Tweet of the week. We're the only species that drinks milk after infancy, and health nuts are like dairy's bad for you. We're also the only species that drinks peach, mango, pineapple, kale smoothies. Karen? Let me eat my cheese in peace. Karen.
That's right. None of your old beeswax.
Karen. I feel so sorry since that came out for every woman named Karen.
Yes.
I was chatting with a girl on one of the dating sites, and her name was Karen, and it was so hard not to make a joke. I really worked at it. Oh, don't make a joke. Her name's Karen. Your name's Karen. I'm so sorry to all the Karens out there. Wow.
Yes, that would be hard. It's like, if you were back in the day when you might still get named Gay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, a woman's name would be Gay. And now, that would be a hard name to have as well, right?
Yeah. All right. Usually only old ladies with that name, though.
That's true.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. KCHW Chihuahua as we passed the top of the hour, looking at 8:10 right now.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Oh, and today I get to try and stump my sister. Yeah.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Yes, sister.
Sister.
All right. Got a few of them for you today. Have you cheated?
Well, I accidentally saw the answer to the first one. I was trying to scroll back up away from the bits and breaks and not see it, but I kind of did.
All right, we'll skip that one then. I have some others for you, too. Almost 1 in 5 adults do what with their pizza?
1 in 5. How about fold it in half?
Nope. I do this with my pizza.
Eat the crust first?
No. It's in the way that you eat it. So,
with a fork.
With a fork, correct. In a survey of kids, 21% said if they were president, they would do this every day. Survey of kids, 21% said if they were president, they'd do this every day.
Oh,
and we're talking little kids.
Little kids, huh?
Yeah.
Man, that's a hard one.
Trump did it.
I don't even know if I want to go there. Sit on the floor and throw a tantrum?
No. How about eat ice cream?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
every day
as president. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a kid answer.
Yeah. That's where I was trying to lead you. I didn't do very well. Spy the lie. I'm going to give you 3 statements. You tell me which one's the lie. It said that the tip of a whip being cracked travels at a speed of 760 miles per hour. It says that the average scalp has 100,000 hairs. And it says in a survey of food cravings, women crave chocolate the most and men crave popcorn.
Okay. Let's see. I know that it used to surprise you how much actual hair follicles they were on your head. And so, I don't know, but 100,000 seems like a lot. I'm talking this through.
You go, Val.
I am going to do the crack of the whip.
Crack of the whip does travel at a speed of 760 miles per hour.
I figured it was fast. I just didn't know if it was that fast.
All right. Your
okay.
scalp does have 100,000 hairs, excluding your husband and your boys.
Well, that's true. There's only a few hundred left there.
You're a mother to a bunch of baldies.
I have 4 kids because, Dad had a full head of hair until he was quite a bit older. You have a full head of hair. So I don't know what happened for my poor boys.
Well, it must have come from the other side, huh?
Yeah, and they always say the mother's father is where you look to see how much hair you're going to have, but that didn't work.
And why was my brother bald?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it?
Definitely a severe, he wasn't necessarily bald, but he had a severe receding hairline.
Yeah.
Same thing. All right. So the one that was wrong is the survey of food cravings. Women crave chocolate. That's true. Men do not crave popcorn. What do you think men crave the most? Bonus point.
Beer.
No.
Oh, what a men. Ice cream.
Nope. Meat.
Meat. Oh, wow.
I'll go with that one too. Yeah. Yeah.
Why I struggle with the popcorn is because Brad loves when I make popcorn. He doesn't want like the microwave popcorn. He wants my homemade popcorn. Ooh. And so, so that kind of tripped me up, I guess, a little bit. But
all right. Americans spend $1.5 billion each year on what bathroom product? $1.5 billion on what bathroom product?
And I suppose it isn't something as simple as toilet paper.
No, it's closer to the sink.
Toothpaste.
It is toothpaste. 9 pounds is the average weight of what?
Oh, 9 pounds is the average weight of. Is it a food?
No.
I was going to say a baby, but that sounds, a newborn baby, but that sounds like a
little heavy.
A big baby.
I'm a big baby.
It's a big baby. 9 pounds is the average size of. Can you give me a category?
It is not a human head. But it's similar. Be similar to something like that.
I'm lost.
Your ashes.
Oh, wow.
A cremated person. 9 pounds.
9 pounds.
Hey, that's the ultimate diet plan.
No kidding. I actually guess I would have thought it was a little less than that, but
what part
depends on how full of hot air you are, Scott.
Oh, mostly air. Or like they said on that one episode of Star Trek, ugly bags of mostly water.
That's what we are.
Yeah. What body part is most commonly bit by insects?
Oh, goodness. It's not your forehead like when my face melts off?
No.
When that happens to me?
No.
I'm gonna go with your arm.
Your arm. I would have thought that or the face or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they say the most common body part to get bit by insects is the foot. Huh.
Okay.
I don't know if I bite. I don't know if I bite that one.
There you go. Maybe if you're walking barefoot through the grass, I don't know. That seems like an odd one.
All right. I'm going to give you some words, Val, and as I give you each word, I'm going to ask you to give me a certain number of words that rhyme with it.
Okay.
If you get stuck, say skip it, but you must complete 4 out of the 5.
All right.
And actually, there's only 1, 2, 3. There's only 4.
So I might get it.
There's only 4 questions, and you must complete 4 of the 5 questions.
This sets it up really well.
All right. 5 words that rhyme with real.
Feel, steal, heal, meal, peel.
There you go. Good job. 5 words that rhyme with great.
Fate, hate, state, mate, crate.
Wow. 4 words that rhyme with jump.
Jump, lump, stump, rump, hump.
Okay, that's 4. You did good.
Yeah.
2 words that rhyme with heaven.
11 and 7, I guess.
That's it.
All right.
I think that's the only 2 as well. You know what? You aced that, Val. Wow.
Wow, look at me. I actually did good today.
Yay.
Do my happy dance.
She does have a giant brain. Val never admit it, but she did test in high school in the top 5% of the nation. So you're like smarter than 95% of people, Val.
Well, I think maybe in the state on the SAT test, but that was because I am a really good test taker.
No, you tested I remember you tested in the top 5% of the nation. That's why they were so freaked out. So you're smarter. If you need something, just call her. She's smarter than 95% of people.
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know, Val. If I was you, I'd own it, though. Own it.
Okay.
Own it.
Own it.
Say, I don't know if you've heard, but I tested in the top. Yeah.
I'm smarter than 95% of you out there.
Yeah. I'd use it every day.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. And I'm in the top 5% of the nation, right? I am for stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I was going to claim, too.
And if you stay right here when we come back, I'll prove it to you. You think I can?
I definitely know you can.
She knows me too well. All right, we'll be back. It is KCHW 102.7. Thank you for being here. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, I think, right now. And right here on the radio, 102.7 FM. We will be right back.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast for January the 11th, 2022. I'm Mark Clifford. The state of Oregon is now in the midst of its biggest spike in COVID-19 cases since the start of the pandemic. Our Eric Tegedoff reports health officials there are urging the public to get vaccinated or, if they're already vaccinated, to get a booster shot.
The Omicron variant is driving cases up across the country. Dr. Leona O'Keefe is public health officer with Jackson County Public Health. She says people who are vaccinated need to consider a booster, noting that folks with the first series of vaccine are 30 to 40% protected against infection from Omicron.
If you've been boosted, you're about 70 to 75% protected. So obviously there's quite a big difference in your level of protection once you're boosted.
O'Keefe says even people with boosters might still feel ill, but their chances of spreading COVID-19, being hospitalized, or dying are cut down massively. Guidelines for when to get a booster recently changed, with folks who received Moderna or Pfizer vaccines eligible for a booster after 5 months. Boosters are suggested after 2 months for people who received the Johnson & Johnson shot.
Governor Kate Brown spearheading a campaign to get boosters to 1 million Oregonians by the end of January. To date, the state has reached about a quarter of that goal. A sick in New York mourns the deaths of at least 17 people in the Bronx, including 9 children, from an apartment fire that poured smoke through a Fordham Heights high-rise. That from the New York Daily News. The news adds an electric space heater caught fire in a duplex apartment spanning the second and third floors of the 19-story building. When the occupants fled, the smoke followed them through an open door. Firefighters who rushed to the scene found victims on every floor. A new poll finds a majority of Mainers are struggling to afford the medical care that they need.
Advocates for increasing access to health care say Governor Janet Mills and the legislature have taken steps to address the issues, such as creating a Maine Prescription Drugs Affordability Board, expanding options for coverage, and providing small businesses with subsidies to help pay insurance premiums. But they also say more needs to be done. Elise Lowry is a public health policy analyst at Altirum Healthcare Value Hub. She says the survey shows nearly 65% of Maine adults reported having a healthcare affordability burden in the last year.
Affordability burdens can include going without coverage due to the high cost of insurance, delaying or forgoing care due to affordability concerns, and getting care but struggling to pay the resulting medical bills.
She notes that affordability burdens were found across all income levels, and when it came to age, 18 to 34-year-olds experienced the greatest burdens. 4 in 5 Maine residents reported being worried about affording coverage at some point in the future. I'm Lee Volke reporting.
This is PNS. Condemnation for last year's January 6 attack on the Capitol emerged from all quarters, but some believe colleges and universities have been slow to respond in a meaningful way.
Jeremy Surrey, a professor of history and public affairs at the University of Texas at Austin, says institutions may want to avoid controversy, despite a commitment to promote civic engagement and civil dialogue. He believes there's an obligation to teach students the event's significance, similar to what occurred after the 9/11 terrorist attacks.
It's not as if faculty aren't talking about it, but we're not talking about it publicly. We are individually, but the institution doesn't want to own it. They don't want to have an institutional teach-in, as we should have had on January 6th.
Surrey notes that the pandemic has been the biggest hindrance to a broader discussion. I'm Roz Brown.
Meantime, modern-day slavery exists in the form of human trafficking, Ohio among the top states with high rates of that crime.
Traffickers use force or fraud to compel both children and adults to provide commercial labor or sexual services. President and CEO of the Ohio Alliance to End Sexual Violence, Rosa Beltre, explains that 5 major highways with easy access to Canada and the Midwest position Ohio as a hub for human trafficking. She notes the state also is vulnerable because it has both large urban centers and rural areas, as well as a large immigrant population.
It does happen in our backyard, and we can all help by being in tune, looking at the signs of physical abuse, fear. They can also be empathetic and being intentional about being catalysts of change.
Beltre works with the Ohio Human Trafficking Task Force, a collaboration of 14 state agencies working to prevent exploitation, support survivors, and ensure offenders are brought to justice. Today is National Human Trafficking Awareness Day, and Beltre encourages Ohioans to wear blue to support the cause. Mary Sherman reporting.
And finally, Emily Scott tells us Pennsylvania stands to gain at least $100 million to improve broadband access from the Federal Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act.
The Pennsylvania Broadband Development Authority will manage the influx of federal funds to support the construction of new towers, lines, and broadband equipment. Nearly 2 years into the pandemic, Bill Johnson Walsh of AARP Pennsylvania says expanding internet access across the state is critical.
They really want to stay connected to their families, especially their grandchildren. And utilizing these $100 million is really going to go a long way to make sure that we have the health benefits that we need through telehealth and that we really reduce social isolation.
More than 800,000 Pennsylvanians lack access to high-speed internet.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported, heard on radio stations big and small. Find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW is online at kchw.org. Listen to the live stream, find out about station events, memberships, local weather, and volunteering. You're listening to KCHW 102.7.
This portion of programming brought to you by New Health. New Year's resolution or not, at New Health, they can help you on your journey to a healthier new year. From preventative exams, chronic disease management, acute illness, dental, pharmacy, and behavioral health care needs, they have you covered in 2022. At New Health, they're committed to promoting health and wellness within their communities by providing integrated, open access health care for all. Their medical care teams offer in-person visits, curbside care, and telehealth visits. Schedule today for a new patient appointment. Curbside pharmacy pickup and mailing options are available to meet your medication needs too. And curbside COVID-19 tests and vaccinations are also available. Contact New Health at 509-935-6004. That's 509-935-6004 to schedule today or visit their website at newhealth.org for a location nearest you. New patients are welcome, and most insurance plans are accepted, including Medicare, Apple Health Plans, TRICARE, and private insurance. Get healthy with New Health in the new year.
Oh, no, that's the old Keebler's place. Let's just back away slowly.
Seems really long.
Get away from me, you dirty fembot!
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. Scott and his sister Val. Not as in Sister Val, like she's a nun. All right. 8:27, you're live from Deer Park. Did you get much snow in Deer Park last night, Val?
Less than an inch.
Less than an inch. All right.
Yeah.
Just enough to slicken things up for your way to work. All right.
Well, between the snow and then the rain, our driveway and every place close to it is a sheet of ice anyway. So now I'm pretty sure it's just snow over ice.
I backed into like the alley, from out of my spot and into the alley and put it in drive. And I'm in 4-wheel drive and my car just sat there. It's like, oh no. I wonder if I could even get back into my parking space. But I rocked it a little and she moved. So that was kind of cool.
Well, for us, it's like making that turn by my in-laws' driveway, that curve to hit the main driveway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's especially there's just, you don't really always notice it, but there's just a little bit of a hill right there before you take the corner.
It slopes to the left on the corner.
Yeah, and so, yeah, that's kind of fun.
Well, that'd be scary, too, because don't you have a big gas tank right there, too?
It's kind of after the gas tank when you need to make that corner. So, yeah.
All right. Every time I look out like this morning and realize I need to shovel.
Disappointed!
In fact, I've decided I'm not going to shovel the rest of the year. If you're going to come see me, bring snowshoes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. I ain't doing it. All right, I'm joking. Let's check those birthdays for today. Just one. Ashley Shalak having a birthday, and some applause for her. Also, yesterday we missed Casey, am I saying that right? Yes, Casey Howder. There you go. And for today, some celebrity birthdays. Val, just a couple, right?
Yeah, we're light on that, too. What's up with January 11th? That many people born on this day or something?
Yeah, well, yesterday's information was kind of light, too, our cheat sheet. I think he might be on vacation.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
All right. Kim Coles from Living Single is 60 years old today. Kyle Richards from Real Housewives is 53. Mary J. Blige is 51 today. And Amanda Peet is 50.
She's so cute. All right. It happened today. I call it history. We're going to start off in 1935. Amelia Earhart became the first woman to fly solo from Hawaii to California on this day in 1935.
Wow.
Whenever I hear about that, though, I don't know why. I always go back to that episode of Gilligan's Island with Wrong Way Feldman. Wrong way. That's my name.
Wrong way.
I'm a pilot. A.K.A. Harrison Ford. Yeah, he's wrecked 4 aircraft, but he's never wrecked his spaceship.
There you go.
I got a pilot's license from Universal Productions. Let me fly.
It's because Chewbacca did most of the work, evidently.
I think so. All right, 1964, U.S. Surgeon General Luther Terry reported smoking may be hazardous to one's health. This was the first such statement from the U.S. government. And the rest of America said, nah.
I mean, who doesn't love that smell when you walk in a room?
More of that government telling me what to do. Now they're telling me not to smoke and to wear my seatbelt and to wear shoes and shirts and pants. And now a mask. It's all too much.
And this is a final straw.
It's a final straw. Now they want me to stop smoking, too. Wow. 74, world's first surviving set of sextuplets, 6 kids, was born to Susan Rowan Cowlitz in Cape Town, South Africa.
Even in South Africa,
Yeah. Well, and she immediately said, wow, this is too many kids.
What was I thinking?
What was I thinking? Imagine the size of the belly.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yikes.
Wow. 1991, a man walked into a New York City garage, and asked a mechanic to hold his lion for a minute.
You sure you're not lying?
And he'd be right back. Except the guy never came back, and the 150-pound lion cub wound up at a wildlife preserve. And that's a warning to you if someone ever says, hold my lion.
Because when they say they'll be back, they're lying.
Yeah, I usually use the word tiger. Hold my tiger. All right. If you were watching when we went to the news, I held up my tiger to the camera.
Oh, a little gray one?
Yeah. All right, 2003, 2-year-old Elliot O'Sullivan, who wanted to build a snowman, was upset when no snow fell near his home in Taunton, England. So his dad, Sean, from Shaun of the Dead, who was working 100... Because that was a British movie, right? Okay. Who was working 110 miles away in snow-covered Kent, filled his car with snow, and drove the whole way home with his heater off to keep it from melting. Then Dad, Mom, and son built a snowman. Can I hear a, oh, man?
Father of the century right there.
Wow. Want some snow? Check my trunk. I probably would have drove with the trunk lid open, thinking that would, keep it from melting, and lost all the snow. Look what I got you in the trunk. Oh, a skift of snow. Sorry.
Evidently, he thought that through better than you did.
Yes. 2009, one of the world's most famous chocolate makers, Cadbury, announced it would warn chocolate lovers that its products contain milk. Yes.
No.
Hence the term milk chocolate.
Say it isn't so.
Cadbury says it was necessary to print warnings in capital letters in yellow boxes saying, contains milk, in case people who are allergic to milk do not realize that there's milk in Cadbury's milk chocolate. You idiots.
So do you like the big Cadbury eggs?
Yes. You think they have
I
milk?
like the little ones with the crunchy exterior and the chocolate on the inside.
No.
Are they called Cadbury mini eggs?
It's like cat litter on the outside.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, man. So, after that story, do you feel smarter than 95% of the country?
I actually do right now.
Thank you. All right, 2020, Diego the Giant, 100-year-old tortoise, retired after his high libido was credited with saving his species. That's how I want to die. That's what I want on my tombstone. His high libido is credited for saving the human species. Yeah, that's how I want to go. Okay. Sorry. He lived for a year.
What's he going to say on his headstone?
Exactly that. That was my tombstone. His high libido is credited with saving the species. All right. He lived for years at San Diego Zoo, and then on, I'm so excited about this, and then on Santa Cruz Island, Galapagos, before retiring there. Diego fathered more than 900 other turtles.
You couldn't pay child support on that many, Scott.
It's true. Probably have to stop after one. All right. Wow. Diego. Go.
All
right. Special events. It'll be hard to top that, but here comes Val.
Yes. We touched on this because of the 1974 announcement that, what year was it? 64 announcement that smoking was bad to your health. So today's special events includes Cigarettes Are Hazardous to Your Health Day.
Yay!
In case, you didn't realize that out there, in case none of you had ever heard of that before.
It's a great day to quit.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It is Learn Your Name in Morse Code Day.
Huh. This is like a string. Over the past couple weeks, we've had 2 Morse code days. And now this.
Oh. And now this.
They're really trying to bring it back, apparently. I'm going to stick with my smartphone. Beep, 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 beep.
There you go.
Beep.
It is Human Trafficking Awareness Day.
We heard that on the news. We heard that on the news. Yeah.
All right. Poetry at Work Day today.
Rosa red, violet's blue. No one smells as bad as you.
Oh, look at you.
That's for the person in the cubicle next to me.
It's milk day, but warning, milk may contain milk.
You idiot.
And this one sounds super fun. It's step in a puddle and splash your friend day.
Or as when I was a kid, I used to call it step in a puddle and splash your sister day. How many times did I do horrible things like that to you, Val?
Oh, I don't know.
Lots.
I'd lost track.
Yeah, there was a few.
There was a video circulating the other day, and I don't even know. It must have popped up on one of my social media feeds, but it was these group of college friends, and they put this huge sign out on the side of the road that says, please splash us. And so it was right next to a huge puddle on the road. And so cars would just come by and just spray them with the runoff on the side of the road. Yeah, please splash us. I thought that was pretty funny.
You know, the problem is all the oil and antifreeze and stuff that's on the road. I don't know.
Yeah, you should probably wear goggles if you're going to do that.
Snorkel.
Yeah.
What's the number for the day, Val?
It is 2.
Just 2?
Just 2, and that's hours each day. A third of American adults admit to spending on politics, whether through TV news, podcasts, radio shows, and social media.
Wow. 2 hours a day.
2 hours.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to be depressed. Because that's all that stuff's going to do for you is depress you. I mean, we spend a few minutes sometimes on Tuesdays talking about COVID and stuff, which we didn't today. It's just depressing. Just saying.
Very depressing.
It's very depressing. In fact, it's time for news and nuggets, and our first story is about COVID. So put on your sad pants, I guess. Canada has been added to the CDC's warning for list, which I was making fun of earlier this morning. CDC said Monday because of the current situation in Canada, even fully vaccinated travelers may be at risk for getting and spreading COVID-19 variants. Canada reported 25,000 new cases and 45 deaths on Monday morning, with the total active cases of 422,000, according to the Canadian government. Now, it doesn't seem too scary when you consider the U.S. has had almost 9,000 deaths over the last 7 days. And we've been running, over 500,000 cases a day. But don't go to Canada.
Yeah. Scary Canada.
Oh. All right, Val.
Facebook is rolling out a new privacy center that no one will probably ever visit.
That's true.
When you just say you accept these terms and conditions.
Yes.
Over the years, Facebook has dealt with a seemingly endless array of privacy controversies. This has ultimately hurt user trust. However, many users do not even fully understand the social media giant's policies. That's why this week Meta announced, which they've changed their name to Meta now, Meta announced that it's rolling out a comprehensive privacy center tool to help educate people about how Facebook collects and uses your information. Not that you're going to visit, but the Privacy Center will have 5 modules to educate users on various topics, including security, sharing, collection, use, and ads. These guides will offer a high-level overview of each privacy subject, answering frequently asked questions, and hopefully making them easier to understand.
They need to, what they should be working on is policing their ads. So one popped up on my Facebook feed, and I've talked about this before, is how I think 99.9% of them are fake. I've had a friend who's had some problems with that before. So one of them popped up. It was an electric bicycle for $69 and what would be 90 cents. It said 69.9. So that didn't even make sense for the price, right? But I went ahead to satisfy my curiosity, knowing it was a fake ad, and I clicked on it. And when the page populated after I clicked on that ad, it had the Walmart banner across the top of it and looked just like the Walmart website. But if you looked up in that box at the top of your browser where the URL address is, it was like shimsu.cc, which means it was out of China. But they had made it to look like, and that was right off of Facebook. So don't order the $69 electric bicycle. And remember, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. Just
so
not.
True.
See, now I'm confused. We're drinking lots of calories, Val.
Well, yeah, as I hold up my, non-dairy creamer laden coffee right here.
Yeah. Study finds the liquids make up almost a quarter of the calories in an average American's diet. Is it good or bad? Well, problem is most Americans only count the calories they get from solid foods, which means we're not aware how much calories are sneaking into our diet via liquids.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of trying to, not trying to, but talking to a friend about this as far as calories in alcohol. Because I don't think a lot of people realize they're like, oh, it's a neutral spirit like vodka or whiskey or whatever. It's like, but that still has calories.
It's still made with sugar, right? Lots of sugar.
So, well, when it's done being fermented, it's and distilled, it's sugar alcohols, but sugar alcohols still have calories. So, yeah.
Right. You want to talk about the auto shop owner who got sued?
Yeah, amid what's being dubbed the Great Resignation, millions are quitting their jobs and giving up work to live mentality. An early pandemic adopter was Andreas Flatten, who was employed by an auto shop in Georgia before quitting last March. After reporting an outstanding final paycheck to the U.S. Department of Labor, his remittance finally arrived in a rather unorthodox way, nearly $1,000 in greasy pennies.
Ooh.
91,500 to be exact, dumped in his driveway, reportedly topped with a note reading, well, a 2-word phrase that begins with F.
I'd stop right there.
And that's it. Miles Walker, who owns A-OK Walker Luxury Auto Works in Peachtree City, Georgia, is now being sued by the Department of Labor for the alleged incident. When Walker was asked whether or not he was responsible, he told a local TV station he didn't really remember if he poured the coins. So easy to forget whether you've done something like that or not. The suit is looking to recover more than $36,000 from Walker and his shop on behalf of Flatten and other employees after Walker allegedly broke overtime laws and withheld wages against multiple workers. And the AOK Facebook page is now flooded with comments from users calling out Walker for the incident.
Ooh, I think he just buried his business, didn't he?
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
People use the comment cancel culture. Well, I think he should,
He's just been canceled. Wow.
Yeah.
That'll be a hard recovery. Well, and once he did that stupid move, it obviously made Elle and I look into his business, and they found a few discrepancies.
I mean, he just basically said, come audit me or come investigate me when you do something like that, right?
Yeah. All right. Wow, this one. A little bit of it was on the news earlier this morning. 57-year-old man with a life-threatening heart condition has received a new heart from a genetically altered pig.
Heck, and I made the comment earlier. It's one thing getting a heart from a pig, but a genetically altered one?
Well, it's probably trying to make, because pigs are typically, I guess they didn't say boar, so it's a pig, so it's smallish. They probably had to do something to give it a bigger heart. I don't know.
I don't know. It'd just be like the Grinch and your heart grow 3 sizes that day.
Yeah. Rumor is he will not be able to eat pork anymore. It is the first
cannibalism.
Yes, it's the first successful transplant of a pig's heart into a human body. And the 8-hour operation took place in Baltimore at the University of Maryland Medical Center on Friday. Doctors at the medical center said the patient, David Bennett, Maryland, is doing well. His son said his father was mostly healthy until he started experiencing chest pains, fatigue, and shortness of breath in October. After 2 months in the hospital, Bennett received several failed treatments, and his condition was getting worse. He was not a candidate for a human donor heart because he was too sick. It was either die or do the transplant. More than 100,000 Americans are currently on organ transplant wait lists, and 17 people die every day because they can't get the donor organs they need in time. So,
wow,
use pigs.
So sign up to be an organ donor.
Yeah.
In the event of your untimely death.
Yes.
And I guess at first I was like, gosh, I thought they'd been using pig hearts for a long time, but they've been using pig valves, right?
Yeah.
That they've successfully used before. So this was a whole pig heart.
Huh.
All right.
I should probably donate mine because I've been called a pig before.
Yours is too cold.
We can't use this heart. It's frozen. Wow, Val, thanks. All right. Funny snowplow names. It's all you.
All right. Michigan, known for touching 4 of the 5 Great Lakes, is also known for some pretty wicked winter weather. This, of course, means its road crews have had to have some of the best snow plows ever made. In fact, the Wolverine State had hundreds of plows, and most of them have names. The Michigan Department of Transportation keeps a whole list on its website, but some of them include Pillsbury Plowboy, Snow Buffet.
Ooh, that's good.
Saltimus Brine.
Okay.
Plow Nelope. Plowder Puff. Slush Puppy. I like that one. Slush Puppy.
Yeah.
Hand Snowlow. Ice to Meet You. And finally, Big Bertha, because every state or city must have a plow named Big Bertha. So does every casino.
In the bad news category, just a little statement here that's online. Backlog, government problems, people sick, tax refunds, going to be delayed.
Oh, really?
Really? You're counting on that tax refund. Don't hold your breath. Oh, sure, you'll get it someday.
Someday.
Anti-vax leader urges people to drink your own urine.
No.
All right, and I want all anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers to do this. What year is it? It is early 2020. Feels like it's what? This isn't right. Since goofballs like Christopher K are still out there encouraging people to fight COVID-19 by drinking their own urine. Daily Beast reports the Key, a prominent figure in the anti-COVID-19 community, is now telling his followers to drink their own urine in order to cure themselves. By the way, Key calls himself the vaccine police. Except his siren goes, we are. And it's him with his head out his window.
Yeah, gotcha.
All right. Key says the antidote that we have seen now, and we have tons and tons of research, is urine therapy. You're in drought.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, and I know a lot of you, it sounds crazy. But guys, God's given us everything we need.
Evidently, he didn't give him a brain.
Yes. Key shared his medical wisdom on Telegram, a favorite social media app for fringe groups. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you believe drinking your own urine cures anything, you're in a fringe group. A disgusting, nasty fringe group.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. People will come up with anything. They're afraid to take a vaccine, but they're fine with drinking their own urine?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a special kind of stupid, aren't you?
You're still feeling smarter than 95% of America, aren't you?
I am right now.
Oh, wow. All right. Fake commuting. What's that?
Of all the things work from home employees might miss about pre-pandemic life, commuting wouldn't seem to register high in the attention meter. But nearly a year after being sent home from the office, some employees have realized that losing that time in the car or on the bus or on the street or on the train has had some drawbacks. A Harvard School of Business assistant professor says commuting provides a temporal and spatial separation between all the different roles we play. It's a buffer that eases the transition from one identity to the next, a consistent dose of in-between time to reflect and reset.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, it is a good way, but are you kidding?
I used to spend like an hour and a half in traffic in Seattle each way. So to get to work and to get home. That's a little too much in between time.
I hated going from downtown to Clayton when I was working. It was like I thought that was torture. Before the pandemic, the average commute was 38 minutes each day. Not only have many employees lost that buffer, but they have also taken on more work, about 48 extra minutes per day. They are also dealing with more meetings and more communication that spills into off hours. To get some of that home life, work life separation, some people are fake commuting. They'll hop in their car, on a bus, or on their bike and travel to work for 20 or 30 minutes, sometimes stopping at a coffee house like they used to.
Get out and take a drive before you start work.
There you go. Or after work, just to kind of, clear out all the stress you've had or whatever. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
All right. New study shows men find women with curves more attractive than stick-thin supermodels. Psychologists said their research showed that the admiration of an hourglass figure appears to be hot-wired into the male brain.
Huh. Both of my boys like their girls curvy.
Huh. I'm not prejudiced when it comes to women. Let's see. It's you, Val. Call your mom.
For your own sake, call your mom. A study proves many mothers across the country. Right. For your own sake, you should call mom more often or call home more often. The research from Evolution and Human Behavior finds that a phone call to mom provides significant stress relief, while instant message conversations won't quell the nerves like a phone call does.
All right.
All right. I don't know. Sometimes calling home causes more stress.
Yeah, if you don't want to hear about the drama.
If you don't want to hear about the drama or, somebody's health problems or whatever. Yeah, sometimes it's more stressful to call home.
All right. I have the list of 2022 movies. You want to hear them before we do odd news?
Sure.
All right. Movies coming out this year. January 14th, the reboot of Scream. We needed that.
Oh, yeah. I've been waiting.
All right. March 4th, The Batman. That should be the one with Robert Pattinson, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. The Batman.
The Batman.
Okay.
That ought to be cool. First one was awesome. May 6th, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Madness. All right. Then June 10th, get ready to be eaten again. Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, they can actually come up with another one?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Let's see. June 17th, Lightyear, as in Buzz Lightyear, his own film.
Oh, goodness.
How
he gets
fun
a
is
starring
that?
role this time.
Yeah. Marvel's still at it as well. Thor, Love and Thunder on July 8th.
Really? There's a new Thor movie coming out?
Simmer down, ladies. Simmer down.
Oh, be still my heart. How can I wait till summer?
Oh, I'm going to have to get my Thor outfit out again. Hammer. Is that pretty good? Hammer. All right, July 15th, Bullet Train with Brad Pitt and Sandra Bullock. I wonder if they're trying to stop it. Is it like Speed? Bullet Train.
All right. Maybe.
And in case you've lost count, on September 30th, Mission Impossible 7. And you have to say it like that.
Is Tom Cruise in this one?
Oh, yeah, he owns it now.
Okay.
Yeah. He ain't going to stop making movies, even if he has to pay to make them himself and no one watches. He's still going to do it. It's called an ego. Mission Impossible.
He's going to be like, he's going to be like Sylvester Stallone in that latest Rambo.
Yeah.
Barely talk anymore. Barely walk. But you're still making movies.
Yeah. And refer to the movie that way, Val. Mission Impossible 7? 7? All right. People are excited about the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1, October 7th. I think we've had enough Spider-Man movies. November 4th, The Flash getting his own movie. December 16th, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And I've always found The Flash one of the lamest of the superheroes.
Yeah, and I think part of it, because we watched it on the CW when it was, when they had a TV series. Yeah, I don't know. It was always, of course, it was the CW. It always seemed a little corny.
But it was an okay TV show, I thought. I checked it out a few times. But I'm just going to make a prediction that, because it's DC, too. It's pretty easy. DC can make TV shows. They don't make such good movies, except for Batman. Seems like the only one they can ever pull off. So I'm going to say The Flash is going to tank because I'm just going to think it's going to get a big who cares. I could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
I could be wrong. I've been wrong so many times. December 16th. So that's a long ways away. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Are you going to go crazy like you did for Thor?
I thought you just said that. I thought that was earlier. Oh well, I don't know. But anyway,
no, that was Doctor Strange. I think you're referring.
Okay.
So
I'm a Jason Momoa fan as well. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to enjoy that because Aquaman often doesn't have a shirt on.
Excellent for you,
And-
Val.
Yes, and so I don't know. It's going to be really hard to watch, but I'll give it my best shot.
Okay. Well, the women are taken care of. And then for the guys, if you like hot blue girls, Avatar 2.
Oh, that's been 20 years in the making or something?
That's the only way he does movies.
Is
Yeah.
that big a gap?
Yeah, I'm kind of busy. I only do one movie like every decade.
Well, and that's been long awaited, right?
Yeah, but he takes 10 years to make a movie, but it's always number one.
Well, I mean,
Right.
Avatar was an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah.
So
Should have left it alone. All right, sometime in 2022, and if you like the quirky movie Knives Out, it's Knives Out 2. All right. There you go. We running long. Do you have anywhere you have to be, Val?
I do not have anywhere I need to be.
Oh, excellent.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid. You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
It's so intense, I hope we can live up to it. It's time for Odd News, 8:58 KCHW Chihuahua. Scott and Val kicks it off, the news attack where the first statement's true, and the second statement, big fat lie.
All right, and I'm just going ahead skip that first one because it's not funny.
It's not funny at all? Okay.
It's not funny at all. So number 2 on this list is if you're keeping track of COVID variants, the latest is called Deltacron, which if you hadn't heard that yet is a mix between Delta and Omicron. But, to me, that sounds a little bit like making this pandemic sponsored by Transformer toys.
Deltacron.
Deltacron.
Deltacron. Hey, I kind of sounded like the bad guy from Transformers, didn't I?
It did. You did.
Deltacron.
Deltacron.
All right. Let's see. Maryland man has lived for 4 days with a pig heart now. We keep talking about this guy. I don't mean to jinx the guy, but should his heart fail and they have to shock him, you know what the hospital room is going to smell like, right? Bacon.
Oh, that's bad.
Bacon.
After a Republican senator said there was no election fraud, Donald Trump called him a jerk and a poo-poo head.
Study found that if you only get exercise on the weekend, you're still in as good a shape as people who exercise every day. Ha! All right, knowing this is going to save me a lot of time each morning now, if they could just find out something similar about taking showers.
Yuck.
It's really hard to come up with all those showers lists I do.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. So I have to plan ahead for a shower now because I have to come up with 10 jokes while I'm in the shower.
And try them and write them down as the paper is falling apart in the water.
Yeah. There's Sharpie all over my shower stall.
Oh, like the erasable.
I don't know why that started. Woo.
This is interesting.
Okay.
All right. $60 million worth of pennies are lost every year.
Okay.
Oh, well, no sense dwelling on it.
Ooh. All right. Okay.
You get it?
I
Sense?
did. Yeah. It just didn't make me laugh.
Okay.
I wonder what 60 million pennies will look like in your driveway. I built a house out of pennies.
Out of pennies.
According to a study, a third of 9-month-old babies are obese. Well, no wonder. It's impossible to stay on a treadmill when you're in footy jammas. I've tried.
You get that chafing from the diaper as well?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can see why that happens. Sleep researchers say that some of us are sleep eaters. People who, while still asleep, raid the fridge. I have a friend who does that. Some sleep eaters even devour stuff like cat food and medicine. Which would explain the taste of preparation in your mouth in the morning. Preparation H in your mouth in the morning.
Grabbed it accidentally instead of the toothpaste.
Oh, yeah.
And now I can't get my lips to open up.
I have a friend who sleep eats, and she likes peanut M&Ms in her sleep.
Huh.
So,
Hope she's not allergic.
may contain nuts and milk.
And milk? Oh.
And milk.
Oh. All right. Let me get back to where I'm going. So we're moving on to Wacky But True. We don't add any lies to these stories. They're totally self-contained. And Val, I'm going to ask you to kick it off again. And I have a couple from yesterday to help fill.
Okay. All right. Where does Hollywood get all of its crazy stunt ideas? Evidently from real life. Police in Los Angeles pulled a pilot from a crashed-landed Cessna seconds before the aircraft was hit by a train, sending debris flying in all directions. Video shows several officers freeing the man from the downed plane, which had crashed shortly after takeoff. The officers and pilot are just a few feet away from the tracks when the passing train destroys the plane. The pilot was treated for cuts and bruises and is in stable condition. No one on the train was injured. The plane wasn't so lucky. It was torn apart.
They had that on the news last night. There's a video posted with that, too. Wow. And from our favorite movie about airplanes.
Excuse me, this is the operator, Captain Over. I have an emergency call for you on line 5 from a Mr. Ham.
All right, give me Ham on 5. Hold the mail.
Okay, one more.
Dumb.
One more from airplane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
It's just the wrong week.
All over, all around.
Especially for this dog in England who needed a trip to the vet after feasting on his owner's underwear. Cocker Spaniel swallowed his owner's thong. She said she was incredibly embarrassed when surgery revealed the contents of her dog's stomach. In the past, the dog has also eaten socks and a pair of boxer shorts.
He has a thing for undergarments.
And when they showed the thong to the dog...
That's not mine. I'm telling you, baby, that's not mine. I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
I had a friend who had to take his dog to surgery twice because his dog liked to eat rocks.
Oh, ow.
Here's a quick one. A man was caught on video carrying a urinal out of a pub in the UK, and he told police he was just taking it as a souvenir.
Ooh. That's the wrong thing to tell him.
That's not mine. I'm telling you, baby, that's not mine. I don't even know what this is. This sort of thing ain't my bag, baby.
Here's a Pennsylvania woman pulled over on suspicion of driving under the influence. And when officers got to the car, they found a surprise in her trunk. The woman told police that she hit a deer and thought it was dead, so they put it in the trunk. Male passenger then got out and took the deer out, which was very much alive. Injuries of the deer, if any, were not shared by police. The woman, however, was arrested for a DUI. Imagine that. A little music for her.
I got my 2 hands up. I surrender. Come and lock me up here forever.
And now, a word from the deer.
Oh, no, that's the old Keebler's place. Let's just back away slowly.
I thought you were going to play, That's Not Mine, Baby. Again.
I'll save it.
Yeah, all right. A hospital in Poland admitted it mistakenly sent letters to dozens of patients, including 6 elderly men, telling them they were pregnant. They were sent by a computer system that automatically generates letters telling patients their operations have been postponed. But so if your operation has been postponed, what does that have to do with being pregnant?
I don't know, but I want you to picture it.
Wow, that is a disturbing image.
Bunch of old pregnant men.
Well, I like as a menopausal woman who you write on the little sheet that you have had a hysterectomy, and then they still happen to ask you if you might be pregnant.
A whole handful of the old guys, when they found out they weren't pregnant.
Disappointed!
Yeah.
I wanted to have my own grandchild.
Oh, that's just wrong, Val. All right. I got lost because you're so funny. Pandemic supply chain issues have hit fuel supplies, led to shortages of masks, vaccines, electronic components, and snarled up holiday gift deliveries. Now, Norway's military is facing a supply shortage. It's particularly personal, too. New recruits are being asked to wear previously used undergarments, including socks, bras, and underwear. Yes, returned by graduating recruits who leave training. Plan was originally meant to be voluntary as the pandemic led to delivery delays, but officials have now made it mandatory to hand over all your underwear and equipment for laundering and reuse upon graduation from the military.
That is so disgusting.
That's right. Going to war wearing someone else's panties.
The bra, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'd wear it.
Joy.
Well, the bra.
The bra.
The bra. Just the bra, though. All right, Val.
In Prague, 3 security cameras kept an eye on the street 24 hours a day. At least they did until the camera was stolen. To make things worse, no one noticed they were gone for 3 days until a maintenance man looked up and saw they were missing. To top things off further, the $15,000 camera had been right in front of you guessed it, police station. Oh. And they were transmitting to police headquarters at the time they were stolen.
Oh. You know, if Officer Joe Friday was there, that kind of stuff wouldn't happen.
Isn't there anything job-related that you should be doing at this particular moment?
Like watching the cameras? That's horrible.
Yeah.
How about something a little more fun? Hotel manager in Zambia says he was only a little surprised when he looked up from his desk and saw an elephant standing in the lobby.
Only a little.
Just a little. Apparently, the large animal had entered the building looking for snacks. Andy Hogg is the managing director of Mufu Lodge and said it isn't the first time the lodge has had to deal with an elephant snooping around the premises. He said staff are careful to make sure, usually, that they don't leave fruit or food on the counter for when the elephants come in.
I wonder what's their favorite food.
People.
Elephants are herbivores.
Oh, people. Okay.
See what happens when you eat all that kale and stuff like that?
Yeah, makes them
elephants. Yeah, the elephants mistake you for
people. Okay,
yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just being
mistake
stupid.
People for plants.
Okay. All right. Do you have one last one, Val?
I do. It's time to end this thing. Firefighters in Germany found a man passed out on a couch in a room filled with smoke. The man allegedly told officers he had about a dozen beers before dozing off and was not aware of the fire inside of his home. Only a dozen beers. I mean,
yeah, that makes you black out.
Look for Henry Turtle! It's a twister! It's a twister!
All right. Before we end the show, I've got one more. And
okay.
Plus, I did have something. Oh, man. Oh, I really wanted to play it. For the, what country was the underwear issue in?
I don't remember what you said now.
I think it was Norway. Norway.
Oh, Norway.
Where they were having to wear other people's underwear. So I have this for the Norwegians.
I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday.
And they belong to somebody else. I got them from my dog. All right. See how you can combine all these stories?
You can.
All right, last one. There was a lockdown at Paso Robles High School in California on Friday. Police say a student saw another student with a large umbrella and reported it as a gun.
That's only like isn't the Batman when Penguin has his umbrella that's actually a gun?
Ooh, that's good.
There's some show.
That's good.
Yeah. So it could be possible.
Yeah. It's raining and...
See this? This is my boomstick.
I was wanted a big boomstick. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in to me and my sister today and being with us. We ran a little long, a little bonus for starting a little late, right?
That's right. We want to make sure you get your money's worth around here.
Yeah, your full meal deal. They don't have to pay to listen. Maybe we should. Oh. You think that'd work if we charged? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that would work or not.
I don't think it'd work at all. All right. No one posted any of our answers to our questions on Facebook. Boo. But Ron did say hi. So a big round of applause for Ron for participating. Apparently he's the only one today. Thank you so much, Ron, for being here. You're kind of it.
The show's all for you, Ron.
The show's all for you, Ron. And we will leave you with these spectacular sounds. I'm Scott.
And I'm Val.
And it's KCHW 102.7. Have an awesome day.
Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelt of elderberries. Is there someone else up there we could talk to? No, now go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit drinking. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
To the Idiot-mobile.
Get away from me, you dirty fembot!
Isn't there anything job-related that you should be doing at this particular moment?
Oh, no, that's the old Keebless place. Let's just back away slowly.
Adios! Look at every turtle! It's a twister! It's a twister!
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
See this? This is my boomstick.